Hello everyone, my name is Idiotic Synergy, and today we're talking about the big old Glottkin for Age of Sigmar. And this model is quintessentially Nurgle. It's got everything from like the weird grotesque body horror to the fat happy lads on top of him, and even if we look at his face, he's happy. Like, this is a happy Nurgle demon of grotesque proportions, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I really wish you could use it in 40k, but you can't. So, yeah. If I was playing Age of Sigmar, and I was running like a Nurgle army, I would use this model. Because just look at him. Look at him. I mean, where should we begin? Should we begin with the fact that the Glottkin is this fat, horrific, grotesque monstrosity of death, or should we mention the guys on top who one of them I really wish I could zoom in, but it looks like but look, just look, like one of them's got skulls coming out of him, and he's like, aha, look at me, I'm on top of this horrific beast. You've got this guy here who's just chilling, and just everything about this model, it oozes detail and horrific pustules. I love it. I absolutely love it, and I want this model. However, I ain't paying 80 quid for it, because I remember a time when this model was a lot cheaper. I'm a bit concerned that it's 80 quid, which probably means that the Great Unclean one has gone up quite a lot in price. Oh dear. Anyway, despite all that, this model is fantastic. This model is absolutely fantastic. I like the fact his little gut has teeth. It's like a mini mouth, and also look at that. Look at that. That is just oh no. I was about to say that's one hell of a Nurgle fleshlight, but oh dear, no. God, can you? It's just really moist and squishy inside it. Right, I'm gonna shut up before I discuss you even more. But I like the bell. The bell. I'm gonna just go. Oh, the bell's nice after mentioning a Nurgle fleshlight, a Nagussi, if you will. God, no, no. Okay, let's just forget I said Nagussi and move on. Just look at the folds. Like every single part of this model is amazing, and I love it. And I know that if I attempted painting it, it would look god awful. But I love it. Also, there's a guy with like tubes. I don't know if we can see that model. The guy with, I think that might be this guy down. Not this guy. That guy up here, because it looks like hang on, if I can find it, it looks it looks like he's using his own guts as like a little flamer device, and that's horrific, and I love it. I do love everything about this model. Even like, look at the face, that's horrific. Yeah, Nurgle's really cool, and probably the best Chaos God. Fight me on that. I do like the detail at the back. I mean, seriously, look at that. Also, Nurgling! Woo! It wouldn't be a Nurgle demon without a Nurgling, would it? It would just be lackluster. For every Nurgle demon, there should at least be one Nurgling. That is the rules. I do not make them up. But look at how happy this Nurgling is. He's just dangling off the back of him, having a whale of a time, and to be fair, I can't blame him. And yeah. Oh, hang on. That is that guy with the weird gut flamer thing. I say it's a gut flamer, it's probably just a gut hose, which doesn't make it a lot better. And yeah, that's the Glottkin. Now, obviously, because of the amount of sprues and size of this lad, I'm hoping his rules are quite decent. I'm hoping. I do say I hope they're decent. I want to see this model more, and I hope it's like the best rules known to man. Seriously, it's so impressive. Even like his horns got pustules coming out of it. I mean, despite, you know, how grotesque he looks, if we look at his face from this angle, he's quite happy. He's quite happy about it. Like, look at that little smile he has. He's quite a happy boy. And yeah, fight me if you disagree. But okay, so that's where the pipe comes on. It's whatever this is, the mass of flesh, because there's like a little hose up here. That is horrific, and I love it. I absolutely love this model. Anyway, rules, methinks. So let's just get into it. Also, look at all the skulls embedded in his arm. That is horrible. And look, there's an eye! Look at... Sorry. The massive amounts of detail. I could spend the next 10 years just looking at, you know, details of this model. Like, look, there's eyes and stuff. That's... Yeah, that's awesome. And also, I noticed that on his back, there was a bunch of skulls as well. I love it. I love this model to bits, and also maggots crawling in his flesh. And holy shit, is that more eyes? I will look at the rules, honest. Yep, that's a bunch of eyes. Oh my god. Also, he's got a little bum. Right, that's enough of that. We need to have a look at the rules. Just absolutely wonderful model. Also, little Nurgling down there. Woo! Sorry. There's two Nurglings. I'm happy. I've seen two Nurglings. It's like Where's Wally, but with Nurglings. It's wonderful. Look, there's just, he's waving! Yeah, look at him go! Right, rules. I've said that 8 times now, and so that we're going to just jump into it. So, these are the rules for the Glottkin, and the Glottkin, sorry, not King. The Glottkin are actually all 3 of those models. I thought they were just passengers. Turns out, no, they're triplets. You have Warrior Otto, who's the guy with the weird gut spray and scythe. You've got the Sorcerer Emfrak, which I assume is the guy with the wearing the cloak. And then you've got Gurk. Whoever birthed Gurk deserves a medal. It's just... Or maybe it, you know, popped out when Nurgle was, you know, squeezing his boils. And Gurk just shot out. Maybe that's how he was birthed, through, like, Nurgle's pus. And if you're watching this while eating, I do apologise. But, yeah, that's why they're called the Glottkin, which I quite like. So they're triplets. Oh, that's kind of sweet. It's just a shame he's a bit slow. Movement 5, save of a 4, bravery 9, 20 wounds, mate. Yeah, 20 wounds. Because why not? Why not? And he is he's a unit size 1, you don't say. Points 650, that's a lot of points. Leader behemoth, and single and unique, meaning you can't bring more than 1, which makes sense. So, let's start with the missile weapons and work our way down. So, you have Otto's gut spray, which I thought was a flamer, turns out it's not. Range 12 inches, attacks 7, maximum 7, minimum 4. You're hitting on freeze, wounding on freeze, rending 2, damage 1. And then you have Gurk's tentacle. God. Oh no, I shouldn't have said the fleshlight comment, really, should I? Right, Gurk's long and moist tentacle, range 3 inches. Oh, it's quite long. Oh. Oh, it's just turned into a really terrible Carry On film. Infamy, infamy. They all have it infamy. So, attacks with the tentacle 4, minimum 1. Okay. To hit, freeze, you're wounding on 2s, rending 2. I say rending, I should just say rend, my apologies. And damage 3. Which, you know, is quite solid. You're hitting someone with a massive tentacle, mate. So... it makes sense why he's wounding on 2s. Then you have Gurk's Lamprey Maw. What sort of Lamprey Maw? Okay, Gurk's Lamprey Maw. Range 1, attacks 3. You're hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, rending 2, damage 3. And then you've got also Scythe, where you're where you get 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. I think I said wounding on 2s last time. I should have said wounding on 2s. Instead I said wounding on 3s. My apologies if I did. Wounding on 3s, rending -1, damage D3, and you get 4 attacks out of that. Very nice. And then we get into his rules, and yeah, Mountain of Loathsome Flesh. So, you can carry out this monstrous rampage with this unit instead of any other monstrous rampage. Sorry, did I read that wrong? I got a feeling I did. You can carry out this monstrous rampage with this unit instead of any other monstrous rampage you can carry out with this unit. If you do so, pick one enemy unit within 3 inches of this unit and roll a dice. On a 2, that enemy unit suffers the number of mortal wounds equal to the Mountain of Loathsome Flesh's value on this unit's damage table. So, maximum 5 mortal wounds, minimum 2. Wow, that's alright. Cool. Blightkrieg. You can use this command ability at the end of the enemy movement phase if this unit is within 12 inches of an enemy unit. The command must be issued by this unit and must be received by another friendly Maggot-Kin of Nurgle unit that is within 12 inches of an enemy unit. This unit and then the unit that received the command can attempt a charge. That's kind of terrifying. It's like your enemy's movement phase, and then all of a sudden charge, get fucked. That's quite cool actually, and that's any Maggot-Kin of Nurgle. Wow, so that's all of that. So you can put that on a Great Unclean one. Man, if you had a what the hell is Blope Rot Spawned? I don't know. That sounds fascinating. But you can just give this to a Great Unclean one and just charge in a Great Unclean one and the old Glottkin. I quite like that, but you can also charge in Beasts of Nurglings. Oh, that would be quite funny. You put this on Nurglings and then just let them go to work. Oh, mate, that would be such a cool ability. I'm not saying it would work out, but just as, like, thematic reasons, that would look so cool. Like, your Nurglings charge in, and then the Glottkin charges in, and then you just tear each other to death. That would be quite interesting. Anyway, I should carry on, so yeah, you can just charge in your enemy's turn. A horrific opponent. So terrifying are the Glottkin that many enemies simply break and run rather than fight them. Should there be no avenue of retreat, the crushing press of fleeing warriors can prove just as lethal as facing the brothers themselves. So, at the start of the enemy movement phase, you must roll 2d6 for each enemy unit that is within 3 inches of this unit, so it doesn't even need to be base to base. If the roll is equal or greater than that unit's bravery characteristic, that unit must retreat in that phase, or if it's unable to retreat, it suffers d6 mortal wounds. Excuse me? You must retreat or you suffer d6 mortal wounds. And that's on top of Avalanche as Mountain of Loathsome Flesh, is it? That is horrific. That is actually horrific. It's like, yeah, you can suffer 11 more. That's potentially 11 mortal wounds you can do. And that's ignoring the other attacks and stuff. That's horrific. I love that. So, War Master, if it's chosen, it must be a general. Makes sense. A wizard, so it's also a wizard. I'm not as shocked about this because it makes sense for why the cloak guy is there. So this wizard can attempt to cast 2 spells in your hero phase and attempt to unbind 2 spells in the enemy hero phase. That's quite good. So all the brothers have a use, whether psychic shenanigans or just crushing people to death. That's quite nice. What other rules is there? Oh, abundance of flesh. So abundance of flesh is a spell that has a casting value of 6 and a range of 14 inches. If successfully cast, pick one friendly Maggot-kin of Nurgle mortal unit within range. What's a mortal unit? Oh wow, so you can just choose the Glottkin itself, okay. Within range and visible to the caster, add 1 to the wounds characteristic of that unit until your next hero phase. Okay. That's cool. You can just give people an extra wound if they need it. And yeah, that's all. I don't think there's anything else to say. And honestly, I like this unit. I really do. It's a solid unit. Is it worth 650 points? I think so. I think the only downside to it is that it is slow as shit, and because it's so big, it's going to be targeted quite a lot. But other than that, if you get into like close combat, then you're laughing. And also, you can unbind spells and cast spells to help. That's cool. That is cool. Anyway, I've been Idiotic Synergy. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Remember, take care, stay safe, and look after each other. Bye for now.